I'm Dr. Cooley, and I'm going to just give a brief video on what I think is the most important exercise for any golfer to get good at. There's an infinite number of exercises for golfers, but if you can't get into each of your hips, then almost everything else is irrelevant. With so much sitting and even just life in general, but primarily from too much sitting, we're going to get very tight between the back side of our femur and our pelvis. It's almost like our body gets smushed from front to back in here, and making this area very like squished. So what we need to do is we need to open up the back side of the pelvis, and that will take a lot of stress off our low back. It will give us more ability to generate more power. It will allow us to have more consistent golf shots because we'll be able to stay in the shot longer. And the best way to learn this move initially is just with a stick. So if I take this stick, I'm going to put my wrists on the stick like this. I'm not holding it with my hands, mainly because I want this stick to hit me just below my belt, or like almost right at my belt line. And the initial move is I'm not going down with the stick. I'm really just trying to drive the stick towards this back wall. So if I take the stick and I push this way, so I'm driving back, and I'm basically creating this crease between my pelvis and my chest. If you look at it from the side, I'm here, I'm going to drive the stick backwards. Another key point here is I need to just have a little softness in my knees. If I have my knees locked out and I drive back, I'm going to kind of fall backwards. But I want to just have a little bit of softness. My tibias, my shins, they'll come forward just the slightest amount, just to keep me balanced. Like, you should feel like your weight is pretty evenly distributed over your whole foot. If you feel like you're falling backwards, then your shin needs to come forward a little bit more. But then that's a good place to start, but ultimately we need to make this like a one-legged exercise, because golf is essentially a transfer of weight from right to left or from left to right, and we want to get good at getting into each hip individually. So we're going to come back to the beginning, and I drive my hips back. Now I want to get into this right hip, so I am going to turn my chest to the right. I'm going to take my left foot, and it's kind of pointed towards my right foot, but there's also very little weight on it. You should feel like the stick on the left side has come forward, and now my goal is to really drive into that right side. All right, and then that would essentially improve our ability on the take back. It will help prevent swaying or getting your weight outside your foot. It will help you stay inside your right foot as you go back. And then the next biggest thing would be, can we do the same thing on the left? So I'm here, I'm going to drive in, step out, turn in there, and really push that stick backwards and really get into that left hip. And what that's going to allow us to do is it will allow us to essentially create space on this backside to clear this hip out of the way and allow us to stay in the shot longer. So if I'm here and I can't really get in my hip, I'm gonna end up doing that way too early. So that's an early extension type pattern that they talk about in golf. And if I can clear that left hip, stay in that shot longer, my consistency will go up, my power will go up. And more importantly, you're not gonna get hurt. So you can keep doing the game that you love. It's a pretty simple exercise that you can do this every day. Like, a good goal would be a total of 3 minutes in each position. So I could go here, go into my right leg, stay here for like 30 seconds, take a break for 30 seconds, go into my left leg, 30 seconds, take a break for 30 seconds, and try to do that for a total of 3 minutes on each side. And if you can get in the habit of doing that, then you can start to load it with bands or some other things, but that's a really good place for most people to start, and it will help a lot of things, not just your golf swing, but it will really kind of help prevent low back pain. make you stronger if you want to try to take up pickleball or tennis or some of these other rotational sports, but a lot of it really starts at the hip hinging. If you got any questions, feel free to contact me. Thanks.